Hi foodies, it's Terry. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing like a Mediterranean bowl. Now, I have a friend of mine and she was eating a Mediterranean bowl from a popular sandwich soup fast food shop. And she was just raving about how great it was, but that it was about $10 for the bowl. And I said, you know, you can make that at home. And she's like, oh, really? It seems like there's a lot to it. And I said, no, there's really nothing to it. Which got me thinking about making this bowl for you and showing you how you can make this for a family of 4. This is great. It was under $30 and plenty of ingredients that you're going to use over again. And I just want to show you how you can make this. And again, it's Mediterranean, so it's heart healthy. So we're focusing on the whole foods. We're focusing on chickens and grains and vegetables and olive oils and things like that. So let me show you today. Now it looks like on here that we have a lot of ingredients, but it's really not that complicated. So of course we're gonna have some chicken here. And these are just chicken tenders that I got. Now I had some pesto in my refrigerator and I really like to use what I have and not buy anything that's out of the ordinary. So I took that pesto and tossed my chicken in the pesto and then added a little olive oil to it. Now because pesto's got a lot of salt and basil and garlic in there, I really don't want to add any more seasoning to that. Otherwise it's going to overwhelm the flavors of the bowl. So that has been marinating. Now if you don't have a pesto, you can just use olive oil, salt, pepper, and some oregano and basil to flavor it. Or even simpler, you can add some Italian dressing. It is really up to you and your preference and what you have. Don't go out of your way and buy something expensive that you're not going to use again. So that's why I like to keep the ingredients pretty simple, so that way we're not having to go out and buy stuff that we're only going to use once. All right, so come on over here. So I've got my grill heating up, and because it's hot, I want to make sure I spray a little bit of oil on here to keep my chicken from sticking. And you always want to spray your oil on a hot grill. You don't want to do it when it's cold, okay? That's going to help keep the meat loose. Now over here I've cooked some quinoa. Now that popular bowl, Mediterranean bowl, uses a lot of rice. And rice is great, it's healthy, but it's also a white carb, so I'm trying to make more protein friendly and whole grains, so I'm using some quinoa. And this right here, it's a tricolor quinoa, and it's easy to find in the grocery stores. You can use just a regular quinoa, and I've cooked it in some chicken stock to give it a little bit of flavor. And you basically rinse your quinoa under water, bring your liquid to boil, and then you're going to add your quinoa and let it simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. Now this can be done the day before. It can be done that day. It really doesn't matter. That sets up really nice overnight. All right, so now that my griddle is warmed, I'm gonna add my chicken here. Now this is really great for packing a lunch, to take to work. It's really friendly. It's nothing that you really have to worry about. And it is heart healthy, of course. All right, so we're gonna let that sit on there and cook for a minute. You don't wanna burn it yet. All right, so meanwhile we're coming back over here to make our bowl. Now while our chicken is cooking, I'm going to assemble my bowl. And I'm gonna show you several different options. Now, one, I have baby arugula here. I like this, it's got a little bit of a bite to it. It's not mellow like your spinach. It's not bland like romaine or anything else. So this has got a little bit of a bite to it. So it adds a little complex flavor. A cucumber and a tomato. And then we're gonna make a bowl with either homemade vinaigrette, or we're gonna top it off with some hummus to go with that. It's really up to you and what you want to do. Now you can assemble the vinaigrette and then pour it on your bowl when you're getting ready to eat it, and put it to the side so that way your bowl doesn't get soggy. All right, so I'm going to take my arugula and just kind of put it in our pretty bowls here. You want to focus on greens. These are really good for you. They're really healthy. Anything that is a vegetable, of course, and whole food is going to be absolutely wonderful for your body and for your heart. Next, we've got our cucumbers, and I don't necessarily peel mine. I do like to peel. That is personal preference for you. And I'm just going to quarter it, but you see I didn't quarter it all the way down. It kind of holds it together. And then just give it a nice chop here. This is really great in the fact that it doesn't take a lot of time to put together, and you're not heating your kitchen up. You can cook your chicken outside on the grill. So there's really minimal work to this bowl. And I love vegetables, so I'm happy with this because I get a lot of vegetables in the bowl here. And I'm not paying $10 for the bowl either. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on here and a little bit on my other bowl. Of course, you want to use produce that's in season. It's cheaper. If you go out of season, then you're going to end up paying more for your produce. So try to use what you have available. When it starts becoming fall, then we'll start looking at the fall root vegetables and what we can do with that. All right, so I'm going to come over here and check my chicken and see if it needs to be turned. Oh yeah. Have those really nice grill marks. And when it releases from the grill pretty easily, that's when you know it's time to turn. If it sticks, you want to let it sit on there just a little bit more and continue cooking. Ready? There we go. All right, we're gonna let those finish up. We got those beautiful grill marks on there. Smells really good. You can smell that basil in the air here. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. And bring my quinoa over here so we can assemble our bowl. All right, next I'm going to slice my cherry tomatoes. And I'll show you, if you want to assemble a wrap, what you can do for that instead of making a bowl. So this bowl is pretty versatile. You can really make it your own. If you don't like any of these vegetables, that's fine, just leave it off. If there's something else you would like, then add it. We really just want to focus on good, clean, healthy eating and whole foods. And this is really nice tomato season here, of course, so you really want to focus on those bright colors. You really should try to eat a rainbow of colors, meaning that you want something that, you know, vegetables that have lots of colors to them. You don't want just green on your plate. You want to have a lot of different varieties on your plate because it really focuses on feeding our body more. That looks like that's enough. All right, next I have some black olives. Now, if you did the puttanesca, then you should have some in your refrigerator. Or if you did the Caesar chicken salad, pasta salad, we use some black olives for that as well. So we're gonna pull these out and put them on our salad. Hopefully if I can open it. Hold on a second. All right, don't judge me on this. Okay. All right, what's the trick? All right. You don't want a whole lot of these because they are high in fat, but they do add good heart-healthy fat though. Okay, I'm gonna reach over and turn my chicken off real quick. And we're just gonna let that continue cooking on the grill. So that residual heat will cook it. And we need to let it rest for just a minute. All right, that's enough of that. If you like pepperoncinis, then add some to your salad. I'm not a big fan of them, but they do add a nice little bite. Oh, those open much easier. All right, next we're gonna add our quinoa here. And like I said, the other bowl that you could get in the fast food restaurant, it's a lot of white rice. There is some quinoa in it, but it does have a lot of white rice to it. And I don't really like eating that much to it, that much white rice, just because our bodies process that differently. It's a white, not refined, but it's treated like white sugar, I guess. All right. Okay, so we have our two different bowls here. Now, you can take one and add some hummus to it. And just put a little bit on the side. You really don't need a lot. This is chickpea, and it does have tahini and some garlic and olive oil in it. Add a little feta cheese. You don't want to go overboard on this because just the fat in that. And you've got a lot of flavors competing right here. Let's put those to the side. All right, so next we're going to make our vinaigrette. So I have this wonderful little jar here, and I'm going to add some olive oil. Probably about half a cup or so. Some honey Dijon mustard. That's about 2 tablespoons. Some apple cider vinegar. Now, I'm not going to put any oregano or basil in this just because I've got it on the chicken and I don't want it to overwhelm the flavor here. And this is going to be about 1/4 of a cup. Some honey. Just to take a little bit of that bite off of vinegar. And I've got some freshly ground black pepper and some salt. I'm going to put a few pinches in here for that. Put the lid on and give it a good shake. And of course, you always want to taste it. Awesome. All right, so now we have our bowls here. We have one with hummus, and then this one we haven't put any hummus on it. So we're going to pull our chicken off and put it on here, and then put a little bit of dressing on it. So I don't want to use those tongs over there because they've handled the raw chicken, so you want to make sure you keep that separate. So anything that you use the raw chicken with, you can't use it again unless you wash it and you use some detergent because that leads to salmonella. So I'm going to use some clean tongs here and just throw some chicken on a bowl. And here I have some pita bread. I threw this on the grill as it was warming up before I put the chicken on there to crisp it up, give it some grill marks, and then I'm just going to give it a nice cut here. And if you have extra pita bread, this would be great toasted and served with the hummus that you have on the side here. That would be a great snack later. All right, and there you go. This is your Mediterranean bowl, hummus, and then this we can dress with our vinaigrette here. Now, if you wanted to make this a wrap, then you could take your pita bread right here, which is what I have, and then take your ingredients and stuff it inside. Put your arugula on there and then some of your vegetables. And then if you wanted to add a little of the hummus or the dressing, you could. So that would be a nice little alternative to the bowl. I wouldn't put the quinoa in it. That would be a lot of mess there, but you could still put your other vegetables in there. So this is the pita bread for a wrap, and I've toasted that. In our bowl, we have our arugula, fresh cucumbers, fresh tomatoes, some black olives, quinoa, some feta cheese. In this bowl, I have pepperoncinis. And then I have grilled some chicken tenderloins that I've marinated in some pesto. Or you can marinate it in your own sauce, such as olive oil, chopped oregano, basil, salt and pepper, or even an Italian dressing. And then you cook that. Very heart healthy, and believe me, a lot less than what you would spend in a fast food restaurant. So I hope you enjoy this meal today. Let me know what you think of the recipes and anything you might like to see. The next one will be making homemade biscuits. So hope you're all doing well. Ciao. Thanks for eating with me today.